They said, would you like to run the Iditarod next year? And I think it took me about half a second to say, sign me up. The Iditarod is simply the longest race in the world. Not only mileage-wise, but terrain-wise. People often say, what's the Iditarod like? And my standard answer is, if you can imagine it, you will probably see it. I think about 1,000 miles. You cannot see 1,000 miles of flat terrain or 1,000 miles of hills or river running or coastal terrain. So it's a little bit of everything. There's very few, if any, other sporting events that are as egalitarian as the Iditarod, as sled dog racing is. 200-pounders, 95-pounders, 18-year-olds, 80-year-olds have competed in the Iditarod. Men, women, old, young, heavy, light, experienced and rookies alike are competing under the very same rules. 9,000 years ago, people realized that these dogs are incredible performers, and they became the mainstay of just about every household, helping them travel, helping them sustain their semi-nomadic lifestyle where people would travel from one place in the winter time to the spring hunting grounds. I grew up in Switzerland, and in my spare time I was volunteering my efforts to people that had sled dogs, because clearly as a teenager I couldn't afford my own dog team or had any involvement with sled dogs, let alone racing. One thing led to another, and after my schooling and my military service and all that, I said, I'm going to Alaska where they practice this sport as a profession. And that's how I ended up in Alaska with a mentor couple that at the time I believe they had about 200 dogs. And they took me in, and within 9 months they said, would you like to run the Iditarod next year? And I think it took me about half a second to say, sign me up.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Some years the trail is pretty forgiving, some years the trail is an ultimate challenge. First, you're so full of adrenaline. 3 days into the race, you're starting to feel a little fatigued, and a week after, you start hallucinating while you're driving down the trail. You're seeing things that are no longer there or never were there. The racers that are ultra competitive, they don't sleep more than maybe 2, possibly 3 hours a day. I remember the finish line. That was a momentous occasion. I was pretty excited to finally get there. However, I also was thinking I could do this a little faster. Well, I have run 39 Iditarods and then finally hung up my racing harnesses. The last 37, I've raced exclusively with dogs that I have raced from puppyhood on. And the connection I have with my animals is symbiotic. Without them, I would never get to the finish line. In order to be a good Iditarod musher, there's a few prerequisites. Number one, you got to be a dog person. You got to love your animals. You got to not mind working 80 or 90 hours a week. An ongoing commitment to our dogs is paramount to do good on the Iditarod trail. In their mind, if I do everything right, I'm just one of them. They really don't understand that I don't have 4 legs and a fluffy tail that I can wag. Part of the race route had to be changed. We didn't have enough snow for the trail to be safe, mostly for the dogs and the drivers. So some years the race has to reroute a little bit, but number one rule is the race goes on no matter what. Dogs don't have a tomorrow, dogs don't have a yesterday. Dogs just want to be stimulated right now. They are in the moment. And if humans could be more in the moment, forgiving about what happened yesterday, not worrying about what happens tomorrow, more of us would be even better off.